Welcome to a brand new episode of the Oracles. My name is Manelisi, and I am with the beautiful superstar Oracle Zima Zibugo. We've just come out of a very good weekend, a weekend that sent us on a high, but then we started off the week on a very bad note. But before we get into everything that we're going to talk about today, Mazi, how are you doing?
Hi, Manelisi. I'm okay, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel, but I think my anxiety has just been a mess today. It's so bad. I almost had like a panic attack. I had to finish work early and just try and calm down a bit. I don't know what triggered it, but I'll be
Mm.
fine because yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's the work, the year end or what, but yeah, my anxiety has just been a mess the past few weeks, but I think today it just got worse. But I'll be okay. How are you doing?
No, I'm okay. I'm good. I suppose in some ways I can relate to you, and I think for me, it's probably the year-end fatigue, as well as everything else that is going on, outside of work, I guess. But otherwise, I think I'm okay, and I really do believe that everything will be okay.
It definitely will. Like everything works out at the end. We'll be fine.
Yeah. But I feel like it's just a seasonal thing. But everything will definitely work out. And yeah, we'll be okay.
We definitely will be. Also, the year is almost over. We made it to this year, to this time of the year actually. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, it takes me back to what Nasty C said on Saturday, as he was
Hmm.
performing right at the end, right at the beginning of his performance and at the end of his performance, where he congratulated everyone for making it this far into the year.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah, so that's pretty much sums up what you just said. But yeah, we made it this far, and we're gonna get past it as well.
You know, just to go dark a bit, I don't know if you've seen that tweet where a person is like, thank you God for yet another day. With Mutakona actually late I was 6. I always
I think I've seen that one. I think I've seen that one.
but
And
now I'm
yes.
thinking we made it this far, we made it to the end of the year. Guys, it's only the 12th.
Yeah. And to go
Tangayenza
even
nganomayini.
and not to make it seem like this is the Dark Olympics, but someone actually tweeted something because as South Africans we always find something.
Mhm.
We always find a
Yeah.
joke out of everything, no matter how bad it is. Because someone tweeted, said something about Zahara's situation, about it made them rethink the alcohol, drinking alcohol, basically
Hmm.
something like that. And they were saying that they're considering now,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
quit drinking alcohol. And someone replied, someone replied that Tulunya is cobra, you know.
I saw the tweet because this girl is like, now you made me consider quitting alcohol and it's December. Because
Yeah,
honestly, guys, to be fair, anything can happen. Literally, you can stop drinking liquor now. And tomorrow, God forbid, when she goes to work, she gets into a car accident. She's gone.
imagine.
I
Yeah,
think, guys, it's always one thing that I always say that not everyone is gonna go out the same way, guys.
yeah.
You
I
might
mean,
stop doing something, but we're not all gonna go out the same way.
yeah, I mean, it's good to actually reconsider some of your habits, when you see
Yes.
what it does to somebody else. But it's not. There's never really a guarantee that you're also going to go the same way, because you might go by something that you never actually do. Might do something for the very first time, and that's how you go out. But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean that's one thing about us South Africans, that every time, no matter all the
Yahleko,
time.
yes. One thing about isiZulu, Shem,
Yeah,
No, I'm actually uyahlekwa, but guys, because like, that's the only way we heal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But before we actually get into the fun part, the exciting stuff, we just have to acknowledge Zahara's passing. Because I think it
Yeah,
was first announced last night because I think it was around 10 p.m. or something.
around
Uh,
10. Yeah, just before
yeah,
I slept, because I slept at like 11 and I saw it around 10:30. I'm a heart broke, man. Hey, my heart broke.
yeah, like it's a really really sad situation, and she passed on, I suppose needlessly, because
Yeah.
her addiction to alcohol at some point was
Mm-hmm.
really really bad. Like it was really
Bad.
bad, and it's not and alcohol is not something that she should have gotten into. But
Mm-hmm. Like that.
yeah, I mean, we all get into things in different ways. We all get stuck in something at some point in our lives. But unfortunately, it led to a passing, and that's really sad.
It sucks, man. And I think when you think about it, right, a lot of us use alcohol for recreational use, right? When we start, rather, it's more for recreational use or doing it when you are like occasionally, if it's a birthday, if it's an anniversary or you're going out, then it starts becoming a thing of if you go out every weekend, you start doing it every weekend.
Yeah,
Other people, it becomes a functioning thing. We become functional alcoholics because we're
yeah,
going for so much, and that's our point of solace, or that's where we find a bit of peace and not to think about anything. But we don't realize that it escalates. You
yeah,
understand? Because it started as a occasional or like just an occasional use, then it became something that you need to function. Then it gets to a point where you're addicted, right?
yeah.
And now, once you're addicted, it's kind of difficult to deal with that because one thing about addiction, it's difficult to let go of.
Oh, yeah,
And when you are trying to do that, it has probably messed up a lot of things in your system. And when you think about it, it's just like it can do so much in such a short space of time because she hasn't always been addicted to alcohol, you know?
yeah,
But for you to take or to change her life like this, and then it goes back for me also to what made her start drinking in the first place. It's what we always stress about, or what we always talk about, how important mental health is, how we always advocate for that.
yeah,
Because she didn't start doing it because I just want to drink like that, you know? Something triggered that. And you would hear her in her interviews, you'd hear how broken she was. I think I heard something where she was like, I really feel like they should have left me where I was playing. At least I was happy,
yeah,
you know? That broke me because she wasn't performing at large platforms, stages like she was before she passed. She was literally performing for Abantu Badlula then or at small bars. But
mm,
for her to say they could have left me where I was at because I was happy, it did something to me. And I was just like, man, we always speak about mental health and how we advocate for it. But why is it that whenever we actually need to do something about it, we don't? You know, why do we turn back on our word, or why we responsible now for hurting someone like that?
yeah,
Because at some point or another, a lot of us have been responsible for hurting someone emotionally and affecting them mentally, and you don't even realize, you know?
yeah. Yeah, like I mean, what you said is quite a mouthful, and I don't think I can do any justice by adding to what you just said, um, because it's very true. It's very very true. She's gone through quite a lot, especially for someone like her who comes from pretty much a dark background where there was pretty much nothing. She didn't have anyone to rely on. She didn't have anyone to take her to realize her dream of being a musician until these guys
Mhm.
came along, and she trusted them. She trusted them with the
Exactly.
career, with the life, and everything. She left everything behind to work with them, and then to be
Hmm.
disappointed like that, it's obviously going to really, really mess you up. It's going to mess you up mentally, going to mess you up emotionally, and you're going to need a crutch somehow. You're going to need some support somehow.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you're not
You always
strong,
going to need that something.
yeah, yeah, and if you're not strong spiritually, obviously you're going to fall in such a trap, in a trap like alcohol. And what the sad thing is that it's not like she drank more than anybody else in this
Exactly.
world. Like there's people who drink far more than her, or who
Exactly.
drink far more than she did.
And we've been doing
And
it for longer. Hence, I was
and the
saying the time also it's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and yet they're okay. They still keep going. Others were able to get the chance to actually turn their lives around and leave. And because I understand that, like in recently, she had actually quit alcohol, if I'm not mistaken, but the damage had
Hmm.
already been done. So it's a really sad situation for her.
It is. It really is. But yeah, I mean, I just hope her family will pull together through this difficult time. Because one thing about passing on someone and grief, and it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Like,
yeah, and I actually saw a tweet this morning, which actually upset me. It was a picture of presenter or news people, journalists outside a home, waiting there to talk
I saw.
to the family. And it was such a crazy thing because this is news that broke last night, late last night, and the family is still trying to process the passing of a loved one. There's still quite a long process that they need to go through, leading up to the funeral. They have all these calls coming in, everything going on, and then now the first thing that you see when you open the gate in the morning, journalists
Yeah.
trying to get a story, and it's infuriating, man. It's really upsetting to see something like that.
Yeah, and I saw, I think, a reply to that, and some person was tweeting, Oguti, I believe that the reason why you would think so many black people have become so desensitized to this whole thing is because of like the media houses, right?
Yeah,
Because when you think about it, Singabandi, that's not something we would do naturally.
yeah,
But because this is work, they have to be there. Because besides Zahara, there are a lot of instances where a celebrity had passed, right? And you find maybe, for example, Ospamandla Goge from SABC standing outside the house.
yeah,
Umuntu uyambona ebusweni ukuthi uyenza ngoba sekumsebenzi, not necessarily because it's something they would do naturally. Even when they start the conversation, it's a matter of their condolences are always heartfelt, like they deep because there's something about ukudlula komuntu that just does something to you that even work that you have to do becomes difficult for you to do at first. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. It takes a lot for you to actually get there, but
yeah.
because you have to, you will do it. So I think it also comes to that. They have to work. Do you understand? It sucks, but they have to work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. But well, my opinion is that even though it is work, but there is some sensitivity that they need to acknowledge or uh, to extend towards the family. I mean,
Yes,
like first thing in the morning, and you are there with cameras already on the tripods and mics are out. Instead of first communicating with the family to see if it's okay, if we can actually do this, and if there's someone that we can talk to, I feel like that would be a better approach to go about it, instead of just camping there outside. And now the family also needs to now decide that who's going to do this before they actually have spoken to the media people.
I think with that one now, there might be, let's say out of 10 media houses,
Mm,
there might be a person from a single media house who would want to do that, right?
yeah.
Then it goes back to, but then we are then going to lose out on the story because
Oh yeah.
if out of the 10 we are doing that, the other nine are still getting it. The other nine are still going to speak to that family spokesperson.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a yes, you're trying to be human, but then if you're all not trying to be human, then we're going to lose out. And excuse me, our bills are not going to be paid for a better phrase.
Mm,
So I think if there was a my thing is, it's not just locally, like in this country, it's also a global thing. It's a global thing. You Umuntu passes away now. There's already media house. Remember when Mandela passed? Yes, Mandela was huge, but because he passed away around on 9:10, I couldn't because I was still up at midnight. Literally, I literally was watching TV until about 3 a.m.
Yeah,
There were media houses outside his house.
yeah,
I was like, did these people wake up and go to house and like what happened? Because I was also interested, I watched. And
definitely.
that's another thing. If they were not there, we were not going to have any news. We're not going to be watching. Because a lot of us stayed up until around 2 a.m. just to see what was happening. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So it's a very tricky situation, especially when it comes to people who are icons, if I can call them that.
yeah. But I feel like the Nelson Mandela thing is a bit different. It's a bit different because there's so many people in that family who are media trained, and there's
Yeah,
so many of them who actually want to uh, to speak to be on camera or to be on the mic, and
true.
also they are fully expecting that to happen. But for family like Zahara's, where there not no one in that family, I don't think that anyone in that family is media
Yeah.
trained. And for them, it's such a shock now to actually have all of this happening because they're used to Zahara herself having all the media attention, everything,
Mm.
all the cameras and all the mics facing her. But now it's the entire family. Now they have to choose a family spokesperson, and all of that. So I feel like it's different in both occasions. But although you are right, you are right in saying that this is actually something that happens everywhere. It's something that happens everywhere, all around the world. I remember recently with the Matthew Perry thing, but actually with the Matthew
Mhm.
Perry thing, I don't think I saw too many media houses. I remember just seeing one picture. I think it was one from the neighbors or something, because there were police around his house, and
Mhm.
yeah, and it was taped and all of that. But then that also kind of makes sense why that would happen because he actually died in that house. So it makes sense for the police to be there and for everyone to
Yeah,
distance. But yeah, but it is, I suppose, a common thing. But also being Africans, I feel like we should be doing things a bit differently.
different, correct.
Yeah,
I always believe that as well, man, because man, we move differently from how we were brought up,
yeah,
the approach. He even said with the smallest things that my list, I watch things a lot, right?
yeah,
And I remember watching a, a few, is it recent this year? Yeah, when even last year actually, early this year when Ubab Buthelezi passed was it Buthelezi, yes, when Ubab Buthelezi passed away.
yeah.
When I watched the news on SABC, right, even if it was the Xhosa news, I don't know if you realized that entire week the ladies who were reading out the news, bonke bathwele that week.
I didn't notice.
Literally all of them bebathwele from the afternoon news. Because I
Yeah,
started noticing it the day he passed, right? It was the Zulu news. I'm like, okay. And one thing about Zulu people don't do that, especially
yeah,
like in Kosiaba and whatnot. But even the Xhosa news, I paid attention. So from any meal, because I think it plays around one, then again in the evening, the entire week they are wearing skirts and bebathwele. I'm just like, damn, man. At times, as much as we still have work to do, there's something about Usiko that we can't let go of, especially if you are deep rooted in Usiko. There are people who are not, and which is fair. Not
yeah,
everyone is going to be traditional or cultural, but people who are, it's great to see that people still respect it. And they were so far off the distance. These people, SABC is in Auckland Park in Joburg, they
mm,
didn't have to, you know but somehow they felt like they should. The entire week they did that. So when you touch on how we grew up as Black people and how we do certain things, it is quite different to
yeah,
some extent.
yeah, yeah. Because we also were raised to to acknowledge boundaries, to know how far we can go, and we know
Correct.
the things that we can do and things that we shouldn't do. So yeah, I feel like we should be doing things differently, and we can't really uh, try to monetize the passing of
Correct.
someone. We can't really be thinking that my bills need to be paid, so I need to intrude on these people's privacy and things like that. But yeah, I mean, we're Africans. We should be doing things differently.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Ay, but we move, man. I feel like it's a matter of also just because there are certain things we can't impose on people, and that's one thing I feel like we all need to accept. Not everyone moves differently. Everyone sees things the same. Sorry, not everyone moves the same.
yeah.
Everyone sees things differently, and as much as you'd like to do certain things, not everyone will. Because remember, even with the Keenan situation, and for me, I'm going to backtrack a bit. I think what boggles me the most is how the journalists always know where these artists live. Because how are you outside this person's house 5 minutes later? I'm just like, with Mandela, it makes sense. Everyone knew where his house was, right?
Yeah,
But with Kenan, I realized that I literally drove past Kenan's house every day when I went to work before, like literally
and
last
you
year when I
didn't
was still
know.
in Bryanston. I didn't know. I'm just like every single time I went to work, I passed Kenan's house. And I'm just like, I didn't know. Even today, I see them outside Zahara's house. I'm just like, guys, how do you know where these people live? It's so wild.
Yeah, but
I
I
guess
mean,
that.
but I guess that's what it is to be a journalist. You should be able
Yeah.
to get all the information that you need as quickly as you possibly can, before anybody else has it. I guess, but yeah, that's actually I never actually made that. I never thought about that until now, and actually kind of see.
That's always my first thought, Manelisa. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's always my first thought. I'm just like, guys, literally an hour later, you guys are all parked outside this person's house. So how did you guys know? All of you guys knew. It
Yeah,
always messes me up.
yeah. I never really thought about it. I never really thought about it. But yeah, we are really saddened by Zara's passing, and we hope that her family finds comfort during this time. Because I actually saw something apparently, because I think she got engaged recently. If
Yeah,
I'm,
I saw,
yeah,
man.
I saw something like that, and apparently her fiance. I don't know if they actually did get married, but I think he paid Loboda or something. He paid my Loboda.
Aw, that's
Yeah, so apparently her husband, I guess her husband now, was already taking care of the family while she was in hospital, which is something very interesting, and it's something that
yeah.
I hope that he continues to support the family in some ways, in whatever way that he can, and that the transition, because it's a transition now that
It
they're in.
is.
Hopefully they find common ground and they're all respectful to each other and everything goes well.
Yeah, no, I hope so too, man. Like, it sucks when a person was getting better in every sense of the word, because as you said earlier, she had um I think you said she had quit the alcohol. She had found a partner that loves her. She was getting better. Because I was looking at her last performance where she was wearing the blue dress. She was sad, yes, you can see it in her eyes.
Yeah,
She was even crying, right? But physically, she looked better. Although she said she was in pain there, because that guy who posted was like, they had to go back to the hotel so she can sleep.
yeah,
But she was getting better because even the family was like, no, she was at a better place. And I think for me, that's the wildest thing ever. When a person passes on, when things are getting better, I think it breaks you even more,
yeah,
you know? So
yeah,
I really hope he can get through it with his family and everyone who was around her, man. Like I feel like if we are like this as a country and we never got to interact with her on a personal level like that, I can only just imagine what her family is going through. And I really hope they get through this difficult time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we really hope that they get through this difficult time. But yeah, I think I'm done with that story. Yeah, it's a really sad one.
Might have, man. But we'll be fine. As a country, we'll be good.
Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll be good. Hopefully next year we actually don't lose anyone. Because the past couple of years, I think we've been losing musicians almost every year.
Literally multiple in a year, even.
Yeah, multiple in a year. Hopefully next year will be far better one. But anyway, I want to move on to some positive stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to move on to this past weekend, which was an incredible one. It was an incredible one. But fortunately, I wasn't able to get the Hey Neighbour tickets, for the
Yeah.
passes. But I want to start with Hey Neighbour. Apparently, it was a jam. It seems like
Yeah.
everyone that was there had a very good time.
You know, for me, guys, but also I think, when you've always been into music, right? You've always been into the culture around music.
Yeah,
The minute I saw, who's this? When I saw that Glenn was part of the entire situation, like the planning of the event,
yeah,
deep down in my heart, I knew that if there are mishaps, it wouldn't be crazy mishaps to a
mm,
point where like a burner boy kind of mishap.
yeah,
I knew it wouldn't be that. It might be a small thing where an artist doesn't come, like Rema couldn't come.
yeah.
It could be a small mishap, like maybe
It's something
like
that's
not
completely out of
not
their control.
yeah, exactly. Not tags selling out, not
Yeah,
food not being enough. I've been to events organized by Clean 21 years back, Manelisi, not last year, not a year before, not 2019, years before, like from 2014,
mm,
they've major artists. And if they were able to put it off, then I was like, I had hope with this one. And the fact that the only problem here was a problem that was literally out of their control when people had to leave. And that is traffic. For me, that's mind blowing, man. That's kudos because that's literally the only thing people complain about.
yeah,
Guys, we got stuck in traffic as we're trying to leave. Imagine that's the only problem, and that's problem that was when you think about it, caused by people who up there.
yeah. Like,
Literally,
it,
no,
yeah, another thing that I saw were people talking about. I saw someone saying that he actually lost his phone. I think the night before. I forgot which. He didn't say which night it was. But he said he found it on the ground the morning after that.
yeah,
And there were people who said that they were charging their phones at the bar, whatever, and they would leave them there, and they'd come back and find their phones there, which is quite a
imagine.
it's quite a crazy thing. It's quite a crazy thing. But
Crazy.
someone pointed out that
The price of
obviously,
the tickets.
yeah, yeah, someone pointed out that at that price point of the tickets, no one is there to steal
No one
anything.
gets so correct. Yeah,
Yeah, no one
it
is
was
there to steal anything.
beautiful.
Yeah, the
Like I
only
was watching
reason
the
someone
the
might steal
reels.
something was
Yeah.
that.
No, I was saying I was watching the reels, man, from the past weekend that everyone posted. I'm just like, this was beautiful.
Yeah,
A festival of this magnitude in this country and it going so well
so
the
well.
first time
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because someone was saying that the only okay, actually it's not someone that's saying that, it's I'm saying that the only reason someone would steal anything there at that price point of the tickets is that they are kleptomaniac. Other than that,
Literally.
it's not because they're actually trying to make money or they actually need whatever it is they're stealing. It's just that they can't help it. They're kleptomaniac. But yeah,
Literally.
it looks like everything went well. And I saw Mahuta asking about, because they had actually I think it was a cashless thing. They didn't really have they weren't really taking any cash. I don't know if that's entirely true, or if they just were able to get like the bands and top them up with money and use that
Yeah.
to buy stuff. But I think it was more of a query, I guess, from Mahuta, where he was asked
Mm-hmm.
if they're going to refund, how they're going to get their refund on the money that didn't use on the bands. And I think I saw a response from Hey Neighbour this morning,
Yeah,
or something like that, where they put up a link where you can actually
a
get
link.
your refund on the money that you didn't spend on the band, which is also quite
Tell me
amazing.
that's not perfection. Ah, man, that's beautiful,
Like
guys.
the thought of everything, they really thought of
Ah, that's
everything.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to what they're going to do next year. Um, and to top
Hey, now it's
Kendrick,
gonna pull numbers now. Hey, now it's
it
gonna
really,
pull numbers.
yeah, it really is.
Crazy numbers. 'Cause it already pulled numbers, but next year I'm afraid because I feel like I'm not a festival babe, no, but look at how much everything went well this year.
Yeah,
Besides for the dirty sneakers, I'm keen.
yeah, yeah. Now I'm also looking
And I
forward
know
to.
there's a lot of Z's are out there who are saying the same thing that I'm saying now, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm also looking forward to what they're going to do next year, and I actually have to be there. But at the same time, I'm praying that it doesn't happen the same weekend as Java's one man show, because I have to be at that one as well. After what I saw this weekend,
Is it doing it again next year?
yeah, I think he's doing it. Hopefully, he is, but I think he's going to be doing it every year.
Yeah, if he is, he better not go to the Western Cape. Western Cape is far, guys. Phew.
Nah, I don't care. Even if he's going there, we gonna be there. Z. You and I are gonna go. But I don't
And
care where
I
you go.
have to, when I
Yeah,
tell you that as much as I was enjoying posts from Hey Neighbor,
yeah,
I think my heart was just in Bobela. Even the videos I was seeing from the backstage content from not just yourself, from also who's this besides LTZ, this
yeah.
guy who is in Kabi, he always posts, he's always with Sjava.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, the music, the performances, and move when they were just jamming. At some point, they were playing Gomazawa Shembe, and I'm just like, man,
Yeah,
this man performed until the wee hours of Sunday morning, and I'm just like, what?
Z, you
How
have
much
no
do you
idea.
love your fans? How much people left there like 4, 5. I'm just like, guys,
Yeah, yeah. Some people left, I think, around 5:30, around 6 or something like that. Because the thing is, everyone it my actually I think Java went on like 30 minutes earlier than what it was supposed to. Because Maglera
mhm.
didn't make it. It was supposed to be Maglera that goes on stage before Sjava, but he didn't make it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Sjava was on stage from 9:30 until 3 a.m. So that entire time he was on stage. And then Nomfundo Mo went on after him. Then it was Murumba Pitch. When Murumba Pitch was performing at around 4 or something like that, Sjava went back on
Hi.
stage to perform with them.
I says,
I'm serious. So he spent 6 hours, 6 hours on stage. Now that
oh, guys,
is
give that man his flowers. Give that man his flowers, guys.
you have no
SRP like
idea.
giving his flowers.
You have no idea. Like to think of the discography of someone to be on stage for 6 hours. That is amazing, and to keep
Yo,
everyone was still there, was still jamming. They were connected with him, like throughout that entire 5 hours that he was on stage. It was just an
because he's
amazing
an
thing.
artist, man. He's a performer. And this afternoon, I was like, I think there are a few pictures that like they were released, right?
Yeah.
And there's one where it was very dark and people had their phones out, their
Oh,
flashes out,
yeah.
and they took a picture of him from like the back. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
these are scenes that we grew up seeing internationally. You see how even the festival, Hey Neighbor,
Mm.
these are things that we never knew in this country. You know,
Until now.
I feel like yeah, exactly. The only time I remember seeing a performance of that magnitude was Operanda filling up, I think, was it Ellis Park
What, Casper?
or was it FNP? No, Brenda Fassie.
Oh, Brenda. Oh, yeah. I think it was
I
Ellis
think it was
Park.
Ellis Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Ellis
And when
Park.
you look at how a lot of artists are filling up stadiums right now and how their supporters are traveling. People are making road trips out of this. Like there are people who drove from Durban
Mm,
to Mpumalanga for this performance, you know. And these are people who can sue Sjava anytime when he goes to a Tegwini because he performs there quite a lot.
yeah,
But it's never a the last time he did a 1 minute show, it was in KZN, right? So when he performs now, it's a lineup featuring a lot of other artists, and he
artist,
probably
yeah.
gets like 20, 30 minutes, you know. So for people to be like, I want to see him perform for that long, I want to be part of Limbizo Leayenzayo, it's a beautiful thing, man, because I feel like we believe in our artists so much, guys. It's wild. We really believe in our artists so much, and I really love it when they show gratitude. I love it when they show what they are the way they are and they're doing it for us. Because performing 6 hours is no joke, Manelisi.
It's
On
not.
stage for 6 hours.
It's not. And the thing is, and I was thinking this, I think earlier today, that the unsung heroes as well, they on Saturday were the his backup singer as well as the band, as well
Mhm.
as the band,
Mhm.
because for each and every one of them, especially like I get Java standing and singing that entire time. He's using his voice and he didn't lose it. Like he just kept going
That's
on.
awesome
And then
too.
at the
Yeah.
same time, you've got this band behind you who have to be on key the entire time, who have to play the right notes, who have to play the right songs the entire time. And they are the unsung heroes as well. They did an amazing job because he didn't have like backtracks. He didn't have
Mhm.
USB or anything. It was purely his band playing the entire time, and that is amazing.
And
That is truly amazing.
and it was a beautiful thing. I watched the videos. I'm just like, yeah, this was beautiful. Like,
Yeah,
you know, when you watch every video you come across from like an event,
and
I
then
would
you
watch all of them. I'm just like, yeah, this was beautiful. And you
yeah
also look at the prices, the ticket prices. I'm just like, because I saw them from a while back. They were not steep. They were normal
the
ticket
word.
prices. And for people to get their money's worth and more, it's beautiful.
Yeah, and you know that another thing is that it was raining for most of the concert before Sjava came on, because it rained a little bit
Hmm.
while he was on stage as well, but then it soon stopped. But everyone enjoyed the rain. Like it's almost like the rain was part of the concert because
The
it wasn't
concerts,
cold,
yeah.
it wasn't heavy. It was just perfect. It was just perfect because I was also in the rain, standing there, enjoying the show. And when I got out, you could see that I'm kind of wet from it, but not too wet that I'm actually drenched or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was really, really perfect. And another thing that I observed was that okay, because we spoke with the stage manager right before we actually went on stage ourselves a bit earlier in the day, and he mentioned that on Friday they sold about 15,000 tickets, which is crazy. And at the gate at the time, and this was like around, I think it was around 3, 4 p.m. They had already sold 1,000 at the gate, which is
Damn.
yeah, like and I was thinking
It's
about
what we
this.
always speak about, tickets selling out on the day or day before.
Oh yeah, yeah, like I was thinking about this that it's amazing that so many people would come to Nelspruit or and so many people would buy tickets for such a concert because I was actually comparing the number of people there as well as the lineup. The lineup was made up, I think, of like besides Java, I think it was like 6 or 7 national
Yeah, less
artists.
than 10.
What's that?
Now saying it was less than 10.
Yeah, like it was it was that like less than 10 for people who'd actually buy tickets to come see them. And now you've got close to 20,000 people at this thing. I mean, and you compare it to Back to the City, for instance. Back to the City had, I think, 3 or 4 stages. It had about 100 MCs or rappers. It had about how many DJs? I don't know. I think around 20 or something. And then you've got all these hosts, and it's sold I think some 20 something thousand tickets or something like
Yeah.
that. And that is a huge lineup. And those names
Yes.
on that lineup are not small names. And this is something that's been happening for 17 years. And then on the other
Listen.
hand, now you've got Sjava in Nelspruit, selling close to 20,000 tickets with a lineup of about 10.
Yeah.
That's
Like low key a one man show,
yeah,
literally.
yeah, like low key a one man show. And most of the people that actually bought tickets, they didn't buy them to come see Nasty C or 25K. All
No.
these guys were just add-ons. But each and every person that came to see Java. That was the main thing. That was the main person that they came to see.
Yes.
That's the main person that we came to see. It was Java, and it was such an amazing time, man. It was really, really an amazing time.
No, man, I saw you had an amazing time, and I feel like everyone who went had an amazing time. I didn't see a single complaint. People stood in the rain.
Yeah.
People stood. That's another thing.
Thing.
They
Yeah.
stood up. They sat down flat on the floor because I mean it was hours, but no
Yeah.
one had a complaint,
Yeah.
because they really they enjoyed the performance.
They did, and everyone was well behaved.
Yes.
It was. I mean, they had the golden circle. They had the general tickets. They had, or rather, the general area, and everyone kept to where their tickets put them. There weren't any issues. There weren't any security issues. There wasn't anything like that. It was just a perfect show, and everyone was so well behaved. It was clean. The entire place was clean. It was just well put together. And I noticed, I actually realized on the day. I don't know if you know Nevo. Do you know Nevo?
And I know Nivo.
He's,
Is
he,
it live of Nivo or something like that?
yeah, yeah, Life of Nevo
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
part of
Yes.
the team as well. That
Oh,
was
nice.
yeah, that was doing this whole thing. They had a camera guy called Langton. Most of the I think Nevo and 1020, all everyone has been putting up pictures that he took. SABC One was also part of it. They had Likwala Kwale and Ikogwe is also broadcasting live from the venue. So yeah, it was just a well put together show.
And I love it so much when things work out. I love it
Yeah,
so much when the attendees as well behave. Guys, nothing sucks like going to an event and regretting why you went.
yeah,
And not because the performances were not it, not because the artists didn't give their all on stage, but because of the aftermath. I
yeah.
don't like. You remember how we always stress it when we speak about back to city in the interviews thereof, like after,
Mm,
and we like. It's so nice that no one reported anything stolen, that no one reported anyone getting hurt. Like I
yeah,
feel like over the years it's been taken so lightly because people know that people are gonna lose phones.
yeah,
People are gonna lose this and this, and we've become so used to it. But it's so beautiful when people can go to an event. Going back to Hey Neighbor, there are people who hiked their way home because the Uber prices were just crazy. And even those hikers got home safe. You know,
yeah,
I'm just like, I feel like that's what we need to be striving for. We're already going through so much as a country. There's no need for us to be making things difficult for each other. There's no need for crime, guys. There's no need for people to feel like I'm not safe at an event. Because it gets to that point, it's like my phone is not safe, my car is not safe. Heck, I'm not even safe, especially as a woman. Anything can happen to me.
yeah,
But it's so beautiful to see an event that's not just only well curated, but is safe for everyone in it and everything in it. You go
mm,
out, your car is still in one piece. You drive out, you get home safe. It's the little things that we take for granted, and I'm just glad that every event went so well this
well,
past weekend. Like I've never, like it's been a while since the country was so happy. Like it was beautiful,
like like you can tell that it's December. In December, everyone
literally,
loves
and
each
a
other.
clean one, and a clean one, because it hasn't been like that in a while. But people were so happy this past weekend. I'm like, I love it for us.
Yeah, Yeah, but next year we have to be attending more of these things. Really
Definitely,
have to attend more of these things. And
definitely.
yeah, and I don't know if you saw DJ Feifei's picnic, hip hop picnic that is happening tomorrow.
Manelisi, I almost felt sick for work tomorrow. I'm like, I'm not okay, ne? But maybe if I lie and say I'm not okay, okay, that's such a beautiful concept. And let me tell you, I'm really not happy at how I saw it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's what we always speak about when we speak about promoting things.
Mm.
Let me tell you, there's some guy who tweeted, he said, I've had such a beautiful run with hip hop since back to the city. I really wish I could attend more of these events. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's when she replied to the tweet with the poster. Manalisa, it was my first time. I'm back on Twitter full time, and I'm sure you've noticed, right?
Yeah.
But it was my first time seeing that poster. I'm like, why didn't I know about it? Why didn't anyone know about it? Yes,
And
okay, not anyone, but it's like, why wasn't it promoted?
yeah, I actually saw it today on Instagram. I saw it for the first time on Instagram today.
And this thing is
And
happening tomorrow.
yeah, it's happening tomorrow. But for me, the first thing that actually caught my attention about the whole thing is the ticket price. It's like 500 rands per
That's
person.
what is grand. Yeah,
And I was like, okay, 500 rands per person on a Wednesday.
Wednesday. That's my
And
biggest gripe.
yeah,
Because I
like
would have went after work. I would have left work early around 6, right? But I'm
mm,
like, I can't leave work early around 6 and this thing is done at 10 and I paid 500 rand.
500 rands for it.
You
Uh,
know,
and the thing is, it's the week where people basically close work, so not a lot of people are going to be able to attend. Maybe if it
yes,
was like sometime next week, if it was next week Wednesday or something,
yes,
it
maybe.
would have somewhat made better sense because most people would not be at work. But 500 rands on a Wednesday, um, at an event, again, it's an event that's happening for the very first time, so you don't really know what to expect. You see the lineup, um, which is a pretty incredible one. But for me, it's like 500 bucks. That's a lot
On a Wednesday,
on a Wednesday.
during the week, I understand it's December, but I don't know, man. Hopefully it works out. Maybe if it was on see if it did this coming Sunday, after people had rocked on Saturday night, then
Yeah,
Sunday stays a picnic from 10, it would have worked. But
yeah,
we'll see. Hopefully it works out.
yeah.
Because also people are only closing on Thursday. Most people are only closing on Thursday. So tomorrow people have work, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I really hope that it works and it becomes a concept that happens on a more regular basis because it's something that hip hop needs. And hopefully
Does we need it?
hopefully she also can get sponsors to maybe bring the price a bit down unless she intentionally wants to keep it up there to for a certain market. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it happens and what
Because
happens.
I saw quite a lot of people there. Jay Jody is there. I saw Anati as well. So it's quite a clean lineup.
Yeah, it is. Because it's actually a reel that I saw. It's not the actual poster, and I'm looking at it right now. Uh, yeah, because I think that is Java also there as well. I think I saw him.
Really, let me just put it up. I'll tell
Uh,
you in a few. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
let's see. Like it's I suppose quite an interesting concept, and I noticed that she actually mentioned that she's DJ Feifei, that is. She's
Hmm.
excited about hip hop again, and that was after Back to the City, and
Yeah.
she was looking to create something like this, I guess. Okay, so it's
Yes, I
Anati.
got it. There's a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah,
just got it right now.
yeah, like there's
McLaren,
Anati.
Marcus Harvey,
Yeah,
Shane Eagle, Capital, Milkshake, Speedster, Deleuze, PH, Fifla, Chaotic, and MVP, Fnatic, Questa, PH Raw, Zushi Coke Dope, Miss Cosmo. It's quite a clean lineup, eh? And there's
yeah,
just
it is.
Hudson, Spontaneous Radix. It's quite a clean lineup, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Maglera's there as well. Pretty ugly. Zuki. Uh,
25K,
yeah. I
Lucas
actually met.
Raps.
I actually got a chance to talk with 25K a bit on on Saturday. Like, is
Kancane
a
kancane ngiyakwazi,
yeah,
just kancane. One day you will wake up and you will see nothing there by my name.
yeah, yeah, I got to talk to him a bit. Yeah, as well as Saudi. Saudi was there as well. Got
Oh,
yeah, I got to talk to him
so
quite. Got to talk to him a little bit. Yeah, like it was a really exciting thing. The thing is, one thing that I forgot to mention is that very early on in Sjava said he brought out Saudi as well as MT,
mhm.
and it was like a really really beautiful moment because you know that
Yeah.
the all three of them were part of Ambitious at some point,
Uh-huh.
and Java told just a little bit told the story of how he wouldn't be the artist that he is today if it wasn't for both of those guys. Like they
And
all
he
came
always
up
says
together.
it, eh?
Was that?
Like he always says it. One thing about him, he gives those two flowers. Like
Yeah,
because when
yeah,
you think about it, I mean, when you listen how they all started doing this from Mifletini and how hungry they were, it's amazing.
yeah. It really is because he was saying that he wouldn't be the artist that he is today if it wasn't for them. And it is such a beautiful moment for all of them to be together in that place, to be at the show together. At the back, on the screens at the back, they actually had the Rhodes Abangan, and they did it in the style, your friends. You remember the Friends logo, the TV show?
Yes.
Yeah, they did it in that style. But
Oh, nice.
the roads avant-garde, and they did like a Setmiana MT had his set a little bit. Um, Saudi was on the stage supporting Sjava for quite a bit. They did like an entire um, session, I guess. Just the two of them. But it was really awesome that MT came all the way to Nasbreak, and he was on stage for like 5, 10 minutes with Java on stage, and then he went off again. But an interesting thing, I don't know if I
Guys, I'm
should.
also always so hey, like even if it's just an hour, guys, I love MT so much. MT makes beautiful music.
Yeah, like
I need him to get his management team right. Does he even have management team?
yeah, he does because he showed up with quite a few guys. He had his management team, whatever. Yeah, but I suppose his driver and bodyguards, I guess. But yeah, he didn't show up alone.
I mean, there's so much potential there, Manelisi, and I feel like it needs to be tapped into.
There
MT is
is
an amazing artist, guys.
there's so much potential, and at the same time, because right now I got to see him up close, and I noticed that like mentally, he's not all right. He's not entirely all right. Even though he
Mhm.
might be doing
It's not.
interviews and talking
It's
and
not.
doing all these things, but he's not entirely okay. Like if he can get mentally, if he can get back to where he was when he first started, and he's able to fix his camp, he's able to work on himself, he can actually still come back and do amazing things and do everything that is that he was supposed to do with his music. We'll actually see a different side of MT, and hopefully that happens. I really, really hope that
I
that happens.
really pray it does. I really pray it does because He's great, man. He's amazing. And
Mm.
you know how a lot of artists always have ama reply to tweets, right? And
Yeah,
like rebuttals and stuff. Look at ama rebuttals Agas Java and look at the ones that empty. That's Java. It's a okay, you be being a Popeye, I'll meet you at your level. I'll also be a Popeye. I'll
yeah,
give you sarcasm like crazy. Then you look at Aga MT, they're full with anger, you know.
yeah,
Akanqeni ngokuthuka MT if he has to, you know.
yeah,
And it's Sjava wouldn't do that. Sjava will meet you at your level. You wanna be a Popeye, he's gonna give you that. Because I feel like he's at a space where he understands what's happening on social media. He
yeah,
understands where he's at with his music. He knows where he's at. He's solidified his ground and he doesn't need any validation from anyone. Yes, support me. Yes, you love me. But I know what I'm good at and I'll stand by it.
yeah,
If you're gonna give me a low blow, I'll go lower.
Lord,
But I
yeah,
would not swear at you. I'll never curse at you. I'll actually end up making you a Popeye in front of all of these people
but
because you were trying to make me a Popeye, you know? So I think that's the he's understanding the game. He understood the game from a while back, and I feel like right now he knows what he needs to do, and I feel like that's what MT needs to do as well.
yeah. Like MT needs to be at a place where he's at peace with who he is, and he's at peace
Yes.
at what has happened in the past, and now look forward to starting a new chapter in his life. Because Java is at peace, man. Java really doesn't care.
Ah,
He understands that every.
yes,
I mean, it's keyboard warriors really. The people
yes,
that tweet funny things, I guess. But he's okay, and he understands that whatever happens on social media is not really real life. These are just people tweeting whatever it is that they're tweeting. And it's things that they never would say in his face. So he's basically just enjoying whatever it is that happens and whatever it is that people say to him. He's just having fun with it.
I love it, guys. I love Java's content, and he's replying. Love it. I saw the recent one now. And was it? You know, when there's this guy who's trending, which just has his eyes wide open. I think he's a wrestler,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and
The
some guy
Kurt Angle.
quoted it. Yes, Kurt. And he's like, this is how Java looked at us, me and my friends, when he didn't ask him for a picture. Did Jabla not reply and say, yes, guys, that was me. I was so heartbroken. Angilanga nokulala that day.
I think that's actually one of the funniest replies he's ever made.
He's like, yo, angilanga nokulala that day. Then somebody else replies to that. He's like, I'm sure he didn't even eat. He's like, yo, ukudla ngenanga nokungena.
Yeah.
If it was empty, empty could have easily one of those guys, you know?
Yeah.
Could have easily cursed. I feel like it's also it speaks to where a person is at mentally.
Mm,
If you compare the two, yes, Java has went through his own things, but I feel like he has healed over time
yeah.
and he knows when to banter. But
Yeah.
it would be difficult to I feel like I myself right now as a fan of both, right? If they both tweeted the same thing, I'd probably throw banter at Java and I wouldn't touch MT at all
Team. Yeah.
because of how I know he'll reply.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
You
true.
understand?
Yeah. And
Yeah, I feel like days when you are an artist because being sensitive is shit because people are always out for your blood most of the time. So if
mm,
you're gonna give in to that, you're not gonna be okay.
yeah. Yeah. And I think what also helps Java is the support team that he has. He has I actually met one of the directors, one of the other directors of 1020 Cartel. I don't know if you know
Mhm.
her. Her name is Ndogs.
No, I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, it was actually the first time that I saw her, the first time that I met her as well, and first time that I learned that 1020 Cartel is not just Java and Raf, but there's Ndogs,
Hmm.
and she is such an amazing person. She's a really, really amazing person. So I got to talk to her a little bit. I didn't get a chance to speak with Raf, but from Dogs, I noticed the support and the unity that 1020 has amongst the management. and the way that they work with everyone that they bring in to work with, from the employees themselves of 1020, the people that have contracted to do different things, like Valentine, who was the stage manager, and as well as
Mm.
who was, I suppose, the engineer, the sound engineer, I guess, because I think sound engineering is his thing. Like everything, like everyone, the way that they work together, you can see that the synergy within the entire management team, which goes down the entire company. So for Sjava to have someone like Raf and Dogs as a support, and he also is supporting them in his own way. However, he does that. It shows through the success that they're having as a label and as a company, in fact. So yeah, for Java to have a support like that, it really goes a long way. It
It's amazing. Yeah.
going a long way, and it's an amazing thing to witness.
I mean, it's beautiful. I love what he did. I really pray and hope they give us more of those. Oh, he can even take it to Limpopo next year. I'm inside. Doing a
Yeah,
road trip out of it.
yeah, and I actually saw someone 1020 actually retweeted someone that was in a taxi from Joburg, if I'm not mistaken. They said that they're in a taxi from Joburg to Nelspruit just to catch the show.
Damn.
Yeah,
And I'm glad it went on until 6 a.m. because they could easily get a taxi back home.
yeah, yeah, they could. I mean, they could have just gone there, went straight to the stadium, and in the morning they go to the taxis, come back to Joburg. They just sleep in the taxi, but don't want them over fee.
Literally, they don't have to
Yeah,
find the accommodation, all of that. I love it.
yeah,
No, but I think as when you make good music, the music speaks for itself.
yeah. It does. It does.
The music speaks for itself, man.
Yeah, it really does. But yeah, yeah. That was my weekend. But hopefully next year, I'm really praying that Hey Neighbor and the Sjava's one man show
They
happen.
not on the same
Yeah,
weekend.
they don't.
Oh,
Hopefully, I pray that they don't clash, that they happen on different weekends. But yeah, we'll see what happens next year. But as for me, I don't really have anything else. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
yeah, just a word. The new music. Have you listened to anything that dropped on Friday?
I did actually.
Any
I
genre
listened.
that is.
Yeah, I did. I think from what I heard, I tried to listen to Nicki Minaj yesterday a little bit. Not really enjoying it so far, but but then again, I was most of the time I was preoccupied. So I'd have to have a listen again. But I listened to Kelvin Momo, which
All
is
of it
all of it. Listen to
in
all
one
of
day.
it. I listened on Friday. I listened on
Oh,
Saturday. I think I listened. What did I listen yesterday? I can't remember if I listened on Sunday or yesterday. No, yesterday I didn't listen at all. But Friday and Saturday definitely. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
mhm.
I don't have a favorite song as yet, but I really
You'll
enjoyed
find
it.
it in February or March. Don't worry.
Yeah,
One thing about Kelvin Momo, I'll tell you this for free. As a Momo fan, I know this very well. Like
yeah,
there might be a song that you like right now or you enjoy. Then that one random day in April, you're listening to the album and there's this song that plays and you're just like, what the hell is this?
yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I've read through that from Ivy League. I've been going through that. I'm just like, this man is amazing. From Momo's private school, actually,
Mm,
there are songs that to this day I'm just like, this is a banger and I didn't realize.
yeah,
And he's already on his third body of work.
yeah,
So, and I feel like for me that's music, man. I really love it when I not necessarily discover in inverted commas, but discover a song months later, and I'm
really.
just like, damn, what a beautiful song.
Yeah, like that's actually the mark of a very very good album. If you are
Correct.
very quick to have a favorite song, Although it varies, but if you're very quick to have a favorite song, it means that the rest of the album isn't that great. But if over
Yes.
time you keep discovering something new, you keep having a new favorite song, that then means that the album is amazing.
Yes. Literally, that's been me. And I'm just like, also, I didn't listen to the entire album the whole day because my attention
Yeah,
span. No, I'm not doing that. I think I went and I pushed myself because usually I'm a 13 track kind of girl, you know?
yeah,
But I remember on Friday I pushed to 17. I'm just like, okay, that's enough.
yeah,
And funny thing, me saying that's enough, I didn't stop listening to the album. I went back. I started again.
yeah. But it's not actually a perfect album because the reason why I say that is not because the music is not good, but it's because of the mastering. It
Eh, I'm not
the
ready.
mastering wasn't finished. The mastering wasn't done.
I'm not ready. Man, I thought I was literally, you know when you think something is wrong with your phone? Because the first track, it's fine.
Hmm.
Second one, it stops for like at the end, 20 seconds. The third one, same thing. I thought there was something wrong with one, my Wi-Fi. Secondly, I thought it was my phone. I thought when I got to the first track, I'm just like, nah, man. These songs, they keep quiet for like a good 20, 30 seconds at the end.
Yeah, because I actually didn't really realize it until people pointed it out. Because for most of the time on Friday, I was on the road, I was driving. So at times it would just go quiet, and I would look at the screen to see to see what's going on, and I'd look at my phone to see if it hasn't paused or anything. And
Yeah.
then I'd see that it's still playing, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I just put my phone away again, and it was at some point it would go quiet, and then the song would change, but it will still be quiet. And I was wondering what's happening. But I didn't really realize that the issue is the mastering until people pointed it out. I think it was Chama Music who actually tweeted in response to the whole mastering thing, because I think he's one of the people who does mastering in the music industry. But yeah,
Mm.
it's a real issue, especially when you have someone like Kelvin Momo, who's an incredible producer, and something like this
Especially for
happens.
27 songs. Please rate us.
Was that?
For 27 songs as well. No,
Yeah,
please rate us.
like that. That's like about 3.5 hours, I think. Um,
Yes.
yes, I think it's
It's a
around
road
there.
trip. Ngiyasuka la ngiyangena eMpumalanga straight with that
Yeah.
album. Inside.
Yeah, and this is what it gives us. Hopefully, he fixes it and replaces it as quickly as possible. Hopefully, I hope that he is actually mastering the album right now as we speak.
'Cause I really
I
I
also
really have
don't
a strong
understand
grudge
how.
that because why did they even release it like that? Do you
Yeah,
understand? Because this guy, not only is an artist, he's a producer. Dog. He works on music like that. You can't tell me that it's not something they picked up.
they definitely did. Unless they're going to tell us that
I
they
say they just
uploaded the
don't
wrong.
care.
What's that?
Unless they're saying they don't care. Because I even signed up for Apple Music. You know I don't use Apple Music, right?
Yeah,
But they were taking so long with adding it on Spotify. Because I literally finished Nicki's album. It was still not on Spotify. Around 11, 12, I'm like, no what, let me just sign up for Apple Music. I signed up. And the album was there, obviously. Because I spent because Uniki, the time zones and everything, right?
yeah,
Nikki only dropped this country around 8 a.m., right?
yeah.
And I listened to Nikki. I finished Nikki, and I've been waiting for Calvin, nothing, nothing. I pushed time, nothing. Like, you know what? Let me just sign up for Apple Music. I sign up for Apple, I listen to it. The mastering is not nice. Then later on, when we speaking about it on the timeline, I found out that even on Spotify, it's the
Right.
same thing. I'm just like, nah, please take it seriously.
Yeah,
Now, as guys, I'm one fan who's always gonna be honest with my favorite artists. Even if you were to put him here in front of me, I will say what I didn't like. I'm not going to buy things simply because
Yeah,
you're here. And I really feel like he needs to work on his mastering.
yeah, like he really like because his first two albums he did it perfectly. They were perfectly mastered. But for now, well, what happened with this one, I have no idea. I really have no idea what happened. Because a part of me was thinking maybe they're gonna tell us that they uploaded the wrong file. But at the same time, it's been the weekend is over now, and it still hasn't been
Mm.
fixed. So it just begs the question of why did they even put it up? Because no one was expecting the album. He tweeted, I think, earlier on in the day that the album is coming out at midnight, uh, and no one
It tweeted
was
earlier in
expecting
the
it.
week.
What's that?
No, actually, it tweeted I think a month ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it?
Then then people forgot about it. It said
Yeah,
something about it's going to drop. Then we forgot about it. Then I think around Tuesday, if not Monday, he said it's dropping. Then on Thursday, yeah, he dropped the artwork on Instagram. That's when all of us like reshared it on our stories and stuff.
yeah,
I think that's another thing. When you know that your people got you, some people tend to take advantage.
yeah,
He knows that I have my niche and they'll listen. You know,
yeah. And
that's another problem.
the crazy thing is we are still listening. We are still going back to the album, and
Even
uh,
today, I was there. Today, me with my chest, guys, while I was struggling with work, I was there.
yeah, yeah. That's the crazy thing, and it also speaks on how good he is at this music thing. But I really really hope that they upload the mastered uh version of the album, that they take this one out and give us something new.
No, I hope so. I really hope so because he's an amazing artist, man. Like one thing about Momo, everybody Momo, I love Kelvin Momo. I love his work. I love him as an artist, and I
Yeah,
really feel like he does what he's supposed to do, and he
yeah,
gives us the piano that we love.
yeah. But Stoutin, we are here now, so it's Stoutin.
Yeah, but there's more music to listen to. Maskandi artists dropped a lot on Friday. I haven't even gotten to one.
Yeah,
I bought Ega Mzukulu because I love Mzukulu.
okay.
Um, but I'm just like, there's a lot. Oh, there's a lot, guys. I think even Kuzani dropped a single or something.
Mm,
I think I was listening to his Ngoma on Saturday, and they mentioned like more than 10 artists who dropped. I'm like, yo, there's only one me. Hey, I'll probably finish them next year. But there's a lot of music that dropped that was still to listen to.
yeah, because on Friday I think I only noticed Nicki Minaj as well as Kelvin Momo. The previous week, the week before that, I saw Saudi's album. Sotra,
Saudi.
what's that?
Like Saudi, the Saudi that I love. He
Yeah,
dropped.
yeah, yeah. He
Are
dropped
you
an
serious?
album. Yeah, Sotra Don't Die or something like that. Let me
No, I
just
need
make
to
sure.
check it out tomorrow.
Yeah, Sotra Don't Die. That's the name of the album. He dropped, I think, 2 Fridays ago. And the funny thing is, before I actually was able to take a picture with him. Another guy was taking a picture, and I didn't hear what the guy said, but I only heard Saudi's reply. And Saudi was was saying that you're not a real fan because I dropped the album on Friday, last week Friday. So you're not a real fan. So I'm assuming that the guy said he's a huge fan or whatever, and he asked when he's dropping an album.
When are you dropping? Yeah. That sucks. Nah, I didn't need to check him out. I didn't know. Hey,
Yeah, and
no,
now I was
didn't
actually
know.
even afraid.
No, but also it speaks to what we were saying. Like they sleep on promo, and I hate it so much. I
Mm,
really don't like it.
yeah, like the promotions are not really there. But also another thing that I noticed about Saudi is that just like MT, you can tell that is not really in a good mental space.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted, I meant to ask him about the album, but then now that he had that conversation with that guy, I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe he's a bit on edge. He won't be really okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just leave it. Let me not ask him about it. But I wanted to ask because there's a lot of the what how do I say it? Like there's a he has a lot to say basically. And there's so
Yes.
many different things that he is talking about. There's so many different things that he's touching on the album. So it's something that you really need to listen to in order to understand. But yeah, I could tell that he's also not entirely in a good mental space. So
Yeah.
yeah, and he's been quiet for quite a while. He's been quiet for quite a while. Uh,
Yes. No, that's all I'm jamming tomorrow. Thank you so much for putting me
yeah,
on.
yeah,
One
no,
tap on me, I'll listen to sorry.
yeah, you should check it out because something that in particular that I wanted to ask him about the album was the art cover.
Oh,
Uh,
I saw this album cover.
yeah,
I just didn't pay much attention. I
yeah,
saw this.
yeah, because I think it's his mother on there. I don't know if it actually is, but yeah, I wanted to ask him about it. But hopefully, we'll get an opportunity because I was able to get his manager's number, and
I
yeah, hopefully we can get him on the podcast very soon. Hopefully in January.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for putting me on. I just
Yeah,
added this album on my thingy. It's me and that tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. No, you should check it out.
No, but that's all I had on my side. The new music drops. There's a lot of music to feast on. So yeah,
Yeah, there's
hopefully
really
ears are ready for all of that.
yeah. There's really a lot. I don't know what's dropping this week, but I'll have to check it out.
Even if they give us a break, hey, we still need to catch up on a lot. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that actually might be a good idea. But
There's
yeah,
a lot. I mean, I'm looking at the Saudi album. It has like 17, 18 tracks,
tracks, yeah,
an hour, 7 minutes. So
yeah, yeah.
we
Because
need to give
initially,
us a break.
yeah, initially when I the first time I listened to the album, I couldn't get past the first two tracks. At first, it felt like they were very, very long. But in the album's defense, I was a bit busy at the time when I was listening to it. So, but my
Mhm.
mind I wasn't fully focused on it. But when I tried to play it the second time, I actually got to enjoy it a little bit, but I still need a bit more time with it.
Yeah. Now we'll get to it. We'll definitely do that this week. But yeah, man, that's all I had on my side before I ramble on forever because I've been.
Yeah, but because I'm done as well. I'm done as well. I think we're about to touch on an hour and a half. But
Oh,
yeah,
he says, you
yeah,
need to say bye.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. But yeah, that's all from my side as well. So yeah, thank you very much, Z. Thank you for being here, as always. But yeah, we're
Thank
looking
you.
looking forward to talking to you again. I think we have homework for next week. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. So next week we'll actually be talking about some of the things that we want to
Jeez.
see ourselves achieve
Yeah.
in the new year. We're not going to share everything that we're going to write down. We're not going to share everything on here. We're just going to share maybe two or three things, and then we'll compare notes at the end of next year in exactly 12 months.
And see.
Yeah,
No?
and see what happened. But yeah, anyway, we will. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for watching the Oracles. We are the Oracles, and we will be back again next week, Wednesday. I think. Yeah, we'll be back again next week, Wednesday. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, please subscribe to the channel. Please share with your friends. Please comment. Please click that like button. We truly appreciate your support and we're looking forward to growing with you. But until next week, have a good one. Cheers.
Peace.